All right, so I'll start in 10. Ready?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Holly Lehman. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Head in the Cloud, Heart in the Community. My name is Holly. You can find me on Twitter at Lehman__Holly. I am so excited for today's session. Obviously, I am decked out in the proper attire for it. So I hope you all enjoyed today's travel journey. Like we said, I travel the world with my friend Isidora, just interviewing people in our tech community, highlighting the fun things that they're doing, showcasing the work they're doing in tech, and honestly, just having a lot of fun. And I can't have any more fun than Izzy, the person I travel virtually with. So Izzy, hand it over to you if you want to intro yourself.
Absolutely. Thanks, Holly. And hi, everybody. Welcome at episode 5 of Head in the Cloud, Heart of the Community. And of course, a happy October. Stay strong. We're almost at the end of 2020. And of course, in the meantime, we want to share lots of fun with you. So we have today on the show, to keep you entertained, the one and only, most lovable, world famous green dino, Rob, a.k.a. Threddy, the T.rex, on the show. So Rob, welcome and say hi.
Hi. Oh, thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Great to have you here. So we would love to hear a little bit more about you. Tell us about what you do at Microsoft, your current role. Tell us a bit about you.
Sure. So I'm Rob Tuffer. I've been at Microsoft like 12 years. I've been in industry around 20 years. You may also know me as Thready on Twitter. So at Microsoft, I'm a software engineer. I'm a full stack data analyst. So it's doing data sourcing and data visualization, and it's all for kind of internal cost efficiency type things. But I'm happy to be here.
Well, we are super excited to have you, and I am wearing a very hot Dino onesie just for you. So
yeah, exactly. They keep you very warm. You don't.
I'm probably going to lose like 5 pounds during this interview, but that's okay.
It's good. It's a good workout.
I love hearing your story. Tell, for those of us that don't know the back side of the Threddy story, I would love for you to walk us through this very cool history of who Threddy is. And I love the fact that you brought your kids on this journey. It's very inclusive. Tell us, how did you start it? Why did you start it? What were the benefits of it? I mean, there's just so much to unpack with this. So
yeah, there's a lot there. And speaking of my kids, this is all due to my kids. I was at a paint studio with my daughter, my now 12-year-old daughter, and she's like, "Dad, I want to paint dinosaurs." Actually, no, she said, "I want to paint." So we went to go paint with my parents, and we're at a paint studio. I'm looking on the shelf. Oh, there's a dinosaur there. Maybe it could be like a mascot for the folks on Twitter that I had just started chatting with. So that's when I painted him and showed a photo of him. I thought it'd be a joke for like 5 minutes, but it's been 3 years, and I don't know. The joke hasn't stopped yet. But so backing up a bit, it all started a few years back. I joined Twitter, and the reason I joined Twitter is I felt like I was in a bit of a career slump. I was hitting the 20-year mark of my career, and I think it was probably like a mid-career type situation where I felt like I was in a rut. So so I was kind of brainstorming ways to kind of get out of it. And one of the things I brainstormed was, well, let me try and connect with folks, because I spent most of my life writing code, but not really connecting with people, not really connecting with community. I was in my own personal silo. So I joined Twitter, and I very quickly met a very awesome group of folks there who spent a lot of time supporting each other, but also arguing about things like pizza and other random stuff. But yeah, I was like welcomed into that community, and then shortly after that, I went to the paint studio with my daughter, and I posted the photo, and then it kind of went from there. But that's really how it started.
Yeah. Very excited to hear the journey. So, I mean, like we both already said, I mean, we all know you in the community as Threddy the T.rex, and it's very excited now also to see the human behind the world's most famous dinosaur. So what I would really love to know is, like, tell us something about you that's really you. So let's just forget the dino for a second, something that's really Rob. For example, the room behind you, I see you colored it to be on brand with our show.
Yes, it's a very pink room.
We love pink.
Yeah, pink is good. I love pink. It's a great color. We moved into this house. I live in the Seattle region, and we've been here 7 years. But 5 years ago, my wife and I and our two daughters, we moved into this house, and we were painting all the rooms. And we said to our older daughter, "This room, because this at the time this is her room. This room you could paint it any color you want." We showed her, the paint chips. And said, "Pick any color you want." And the rest of the house are like light grays and beiges and whites, and she picks this color right here. And we're like, "Really? That's the color you want for that's the color you want for your room?" We're like, "You know what? Oh, we said you could do it. Okay, it could be pink." And we painted it. And as soon as the paint went on the walls, I was like, "Oh no, we've made a mistake." But
Well, you're obviously not blurring your background, so
no, it's turned into a thing. I like it now, and it keeps me awake because now this was a guest room. It turned into my home office. During this year as we're working from home, and my older daughter has a desk right over there. So we hang out in the pink room every day, and it's amazing. So yeah, I guess the part about me is that I'm kind of a family person, right? So letting the kids choose a paint color, I think, is a fun thing.
I think it's fun to let the kids just show their personality and to run with it. I know my two girls are completely their own personality. They're so unique, and sometimes it's good. Sometimes it gets a little crazy, but letting them be their own person and letting them have their own voice, I think, is so good. And as parents, it's a fine line, right, of letting them find their own voice, and it creates that confidence in them. But to change the topic a little bit, so I watched your interview at Ignite. I wasn't able to attend last year, and so I got the chance to watch your interview that you presented on your career in tech. And I thought it was so beautiful because it was very humble, it was very fun. And I would love for you to talk a little bit about that, because I think people, like you had talked about earlier, you wrote code, you were very siloed. And I think there's this line in the sand that people forget, that tech can be fun, right? And it can bring people together. And so I would love to talk about that career journey and what Microsoft has brought to you and how you've brought people together.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I felt like growing up, I felt like a creative person. I sang, I played guitar. I haven't played in a few years, but I play guitar. I drew as a kid. I would draw comics, and I don't know. I left childhood and I started doing programming, which I love, but I left the creative things behind, right? And for a long time, and for up to maybe 20 years, and I was really happy with the work I was doing. I feel like I was proud of the work I was doing. I feel it was good, as providing value to the business and customers, but I kind of missed the creative thing. So that's kind of when Thready and the dinosaurs appeared. And it kind of just happened. It wasn't planned, right? It's like I do one thing and then it goes to the next thing. Like I painted one dinosaur, and I don't think anything's going to happen with it. And I created a Twitter account for the dinosaur. I started tweeting.
There's a whole box of dinosaurs, right?
There's
how many of them in total?
Yeah, there's maybe 30 or 35, and actually I have probably about 9 within reach right now. And then so it didn't really start. I didn't really plan it, right? So I painted the first one, and then a few folks said, "Hey, I would really love to have dinosaurs." I'm like, okay. I didn't want to give away the original, so I was like, all right, I'm going to paint more. So I painted Cyber, which is Ann Johnson's dinosaur, and Ann brings Cyber on stage to all kinds of security events. They do important security stuff together. And then the third one was Rhodey. Rhodey is Carmen Crincoli's dinosaur. Carmen brought Rhodey on a road trip across the country in a van. That was a fun adventure. And then along the way, I was like, all right, I'm painting dinosaurs. Let's do this. So I painted a bunch more. There's a few I want to kind of hit on that I think are super important. Tealzilla is one of them. Tealzilla is the diversity dinosaur, and now the humans of IT dinosaur. That's Shauna Bang's dinosaur. Shauna's doing great work with the community, which I think she's doing awesome. Mm-hmm. And that's the teal one. And actually, for folks that went to Microsoft Ignite, I think I forget who, presenters or someone, they would get boxes, and in the box there was a pin. That's a Tealzilla pin. So that's really cool. Query, the T.rex is another one I want to highlight. Query is Andy Mallon's dinosaur. Actually, I didn't paint this one. There's only a few dinosaurs I didn't paint, and this was one of them. Andy painted it and supported the queer LGBTQ community. So that's another kind of important dinosaur out there. There's like a ton of them, but I'm forgetting all of them.
Did you ever imagine that when this started, that you would literally be driving your own community? I mean, everywhere I go, somebody in Microsoft either is talking about you, knows about you, has a dinosaur, wearing a dinosaur, or a raccoon. I mean, it's really, you've created your own community. And I think to some degree, in my personal opinion, you brought people together that would have never come together. I mean, I remember getting invited to the pancake lunch thinking I was like, this is very cool. And it's people that I would have never met. And so because of a dinosaur, you've literally brought people in tech together. And I think that's really empowering. I mean, when you think about it.
I mean, it is a lot of fun. I had no idea any of this would happen. I do feel that these communities existed already. I feel very lucky in that I was warmly welcomed into existing communities, like the folks on Twitter, all the Threadzilla people. They were there doing their thing. I just kind of joined, and it was very welcoming. And the pancake folks, Tasha Scott is the one kind of driving that. She's awesome. And I was like warmly welcomed. The dinosaurs kind of enter into the picture, and then it turns into a dinosaur thing. But but these things, these folks, I think part of it, these folks are existing communities. But yeah, I had no idea any of this would happen.
It became this big thing.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so definitely, Rob, speaking about career in tech and also bringing the fun in tech. So you're definitely a human being that brings a lot of fun into the tech world. I mean, not just with Thready. I also have seen that you recently, I believe in August, started doing TikTok videos. Which are hilarious. So I would love to hear more. How did you get inspired to start the TikTok videos? What have you been doing, and what else do we have coming up on TikTok?
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure. So I guess with any of the things, TikTok or the GIFs or the comics or anything, I have no idea where it starts. Like just one day I wake up, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this thing today. So I'm not really sure. I think for TikTok, it was there have been a lot of news around TikTok recently, and it made me interested. And so then I would kind of go on TikTok, and then my kid's on TikTok. She's like, "Are you on TikTok? What are you doing on TikTok?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just browsing." And
it's not me.
I'm just looking for you.
Yeah, I'm just don't worry, I'm not spying on you. I'm just kind of checking things out. And then I was like, and I feel like whenever you're on a platform, you haven't really tried it until you really try it and like produce content for it and really jump in. Because if you just kind of browse a bit and then disappear, you didn't really give it your all, I feel. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to make a TikTok. So I made one, and it was frightening, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I had no idea about anything, but I tried it, and it was really funny. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this some more. And, I made some more. I haven't done it in a few weeks, but it's I love finding like a new way to have fun, right? Like like a new medium, or just I don't know, just a video with audio. Explore new ways to just kind of have
fun.
Try
new outfits. I believe I saw one TikTok with the same outfit as Holly. Is it the same one, or did you both get your own?
It's it looks very similar.
It's very it's got a tail. It's got like.
Can you show that again, please? Please, Holly, turn around and show it again.
I was walking down the stairs this morning, and my little 9-pound dog, she's like pulling at the tail, and I almost fell down the stairs. I'm like, this is providing enough humor for everybody.
This close to bringing it to campus and just doing like TikToks around campus in a dinosaur outfit.
That'd be amazing.
Do it.
I chickened out though. I was like, oh, I can't do this.
No. This show is not about chickening out. In the next, let's say, 4 weeks, we want to see new TikTok videos of you wearing the dino suit on campus. Is that a deal?
All right. It's a deal. I'll do it.
So you tell a story that I think our listeners should hear. Because I think that there's something so empowering about what Microsoft allows us to do. I love that Microsoft is like, hey, go do your job, do it well, we'll support you, but we'll also empower you to take your passion and run with it and see how we can pull the two together. So tell us about the story when you had to finally unveil yourself to your manager.
Yeah. So the first year or so ish, I'm kind of forgetting now the exact time frame, but nobody at work knew I was a dinosaur, right? I was me at work, and on Twitter I was the dinosaur, and then folks that were Twitter regulars knew who I was, right? But there weren't many folks within Microsoft that knew who I was, and I think we were like approaching Ignite. I think it was when the context of an Ignite discussion, and I had to, I wanted to. I was asked to go speak, and I really wanted to do it, but I needed, for Microsoft to pay the travel and things, and that comes from my organization's budget. So that at some point they would know that I went to a conference and talked about dinosaurs, so they'd probably want to know about that. so I have weekly one-on-ones with my manager. He's awesome. I love him. I've been with him for a few years now. So I said, yeah, I'm invited to speak at a conference. He's like, wow, really? Like, what about? Tell me about it. I said, yeah, it's kind of like about careers and social media. And he's like, interesting. And I'm like, yeah. So I've got this thing where I'm like a dinosaur on the internet, and there's like silence for. But yeah, so he's been totally cool about it. My management chain doesn't spend an awful lot of time on social media. I think certain folks within leadership are on social media more than others. My management chain is not on social media, but they are so cool about it. They're like, you're doing your thing. Yeah, whatever. Like,
you want to be a dinosaur? Be a dinosaur.
It's totally cool with us. I'm like, this is great. Yeah. I think generally, mostly Microsoft is really great about allowing their employees to be themselves on social media, would be that Twitter or elsewhere, and which I think is awesome. I think it empowers employees to kind of be themselves. Also shows the industry, folks in the industry that are not at Microsoft, hey, like these people are human beings or dinosaurs, and it kind of shows every aspect of us, and we're not just folks that work at Microsoft, which I think is awesome. And it's the thing that keeps me at Microsoft. It's like one of the things, certainly.
Yeah. So so I have a feeling like it's all about dinosaurs. So let's keep the thread about the dinosaurs. So I saw on GitHub that you have like a whole timeline about the dinosaurs. So when Thready was born, trending tweets that went viral, as well as the friends, which you already previously mentioned a few of them. Tealzilla, I believe you said, right? Cyber.
Yeah.
We have Thready the raccoon. So how did all these friends start? Like, tell us a bit more about them and what are their roles in the world of Thready the T.rex.
Sure. Okay. So let's start with Thready, and then I mentioned Cyber and Rhodey. They were the OG three. And then along the way, many dinosaurs got created. There are some dinosaurs in the for the DART team within information security. And we don't see them often, but they exist. There's Sonny the T.rex, which is a kind of a yellow dinosaur that Anna Chu.
You have them here? You said you have them.
No, I have
them.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, you want to see the ones like?
Show us the ones you have.
All right, so let's see. We have OG, right? This is the original.
Yep.
And, it's got raw. And very seasonally appropriate. Here's pumpkin spice Thready. So here's an orange Halloween.
Halloween. Pumpkin spice. I love it.
A third one that is very similar to OG, but you see there's a bow on her hair. This is Miss Thready.
That's so cute.
My daughter at some point was like, I want to paint one. I'm like, all right, let's go paint. So she painted Miss Thready. This is Miss Thready. Yeah. People don't see this one that often. Okay. So there's like plenty over. Hold on.
Get them.
He has the absolute best laugh. I love his laugh.
All right, so there's these. I'm not even sure these have names. There's this one. I don't know. We painted a lot of them. See what happens is, for a while I was painting them at home, and my daughters would be like, "That one's cool. Could we keep that one at home?" And I'd be like, "Oh, okay." And then I'd paint another one. Here's I think we
That
call
looks
this
like
one.
the one Ann Johnson has. She had a red one that joined her on one of her.
Who has a red one? Oh, so there's a few red ones. There's Ragey, which is Barry Dorn's one, very angry dinosaur. There's Rudy, the T.rex, which is another red one. This one doesn't have a name. Let's see. Here's another. I think we call this one Basil. I think yeah. So
Here's my question, Rob.
Yeah.
How do you have all these dinosaurs and then this like ad hoc raccoon?
So there, you know what? I do have a pixelated. You know what? There isn't a here's Thready. That's the
Yeah.
raccoon.
So we've got all these dinosaurs and then here's a raccoon. Like it's very just.
So all right. This is the backstory. There's a raccoon thing happening on Twitter. A few folks they chat about raccoons, and I drew a raccoon. And it was like kind of like a joke, and then I didn't think about it for a year, and then I was thinking, okay, I think it was around the time I wanted to do the comic. So okay, I want to make a comic. I'll put Thready in it, but Thready has nobody to talk to. Like who will Thready be interacting with? So then I was like, okay, maybe the raccoon. So I drew the raccoon, and it actually turned out really well. And then I turned him into like maybe antagonists, maybe not the nicest person. Yeah, it's like a Slytherin house member, but so that's how Thready started. It was like just like any part of this. I just one day I decided to try something. You might think many things I tried don't work out, but the things you see are the ones that worked out.
That is the one thing that I've learned with my career in tech is that, and I appreciate is it's okay if you try and it fails. Like I've had some great ideas in my career and they failed miserably, like crashed, burned, hardcore. And my manager said to me, okay, so did you learn something from it? And I said, yeah. He goes, okay, so what'd you learn and what would you do next time? And I said, well, here's what I learned. And okay, cool. So it was worth it. Next, just don't do it again. Right. And I think as long as we take something out of our failures, I think we are learning and it's absolutely worth it. And talking about crash and burn and fail, I would say that's kind of 2020 to some extent. And then another people like you are bringing such positivity. I mean, I see all of your gifts and I laugh out loud. They're so worth it because when we're sitting in these like very kind of dark year that we're all dealing with, you're bringing positivity to us and you don't even realize it. And you're bringing community together in tech. And so share with us some of the things like I've had to change my routine. Izzy's had to change her routine. What have you done that you can share with our listeners as we wrap up the session today? What have you done for positive? What have you done in your routine to just kind of keep your head clear and positive right now?
That's an awesome question. And, you know, it is a tough year for a lot of folks. A lot of negatives happening, but I do like to see and find the positive things that are happening. And for me, certainly there are positive things happening. I think one of those things is spending more time with family. So my wife and I and our two daughters, we're in the house. We're together all the time now. And we've grown closer, you know, in a way we've grown closer. We have more opportunities to have dinner together because usually there'd be kid activities or other things happening or work late or whatever. And so we've connected in ways that we haven't before, whether that be dinner or like right now, I've gotten into this routine of watching anime every night with my older daughter or just, you know, weekends hanging out with my younger daughter. It's like, in a way, it's kind of a blessing in disguise, right? It's been really great. So yeah, it's been awesome.
I think that's awesome. That's what Dux and Mary, both of them commented, is that this whole thing has brought them closer to their family. I remember Mary said she did, you know, a family road trip across the country that she said, you know, if it wasn't for COVID, they would have never done it. Dux brought about, you know, that they go for walks as a family and they do all the meals together as a family. And so part of the idea that Izzy and I had when we started this was let's showcase the positive. And I want to say thank you for all of the fun that you bring to us that you don't even realize. So keep the posts coming, keep Thready laughing, more raccoons, all the fun. Like it's worth it, and it's what this community needs right now more than ever.
Thank you so much. It's fun for me, and I do it partially for me because I'm having fun, and I love. If anyone could get anything out of it, I love that. I think it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Rob, before we close off the show, I know Holly is an absolute winner on wearing this outfit today. I mean, I'll tell you a little bit how it went. She was like, "Oh my God, I ordered this outfit. Should I wear it?" And I was like, "Yes, you should do it." She was like, "No, I cannot do it." I'm like, "Holly, wear it. You can do it." And even this morning, she sent me like a video or a WhatsApp like, "I cannot do it." I'm like, "Yes, you definitely can do it." However, so Holly is an absolute winner for doing that. I also did a little something for you. So have a look. What's the first thing you see?
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! What do I see?
First thing.
The first thing I see a dinosaur.
So actually, I put a little dino.
I love it so much. Oh my goodness.
And that's how it started actually when I wrote to Holly a few weeks back, and I was like, I found a little dino. I'm gonna use it. I bought it for the episode with Rob. And from there on, yeah, so that one is for you.
Thank you so much. Oh, I'm honored. I love it.
All right, Rob, thank you so much. It was a huge pleasure to have you on the show, especially also for some people who really know you as Thready, but not really the face and the person behind the dino. So we're very happy to have you in person, well, virtually, but in person on camera, to show who you are, to show your pink room, the role you have at Microsoft, the amazing ideas you brought to life with the dinos and the friends. And yeah, so thank you so much for your time. And for everybody who's watching or listening, episode 5, thank you very much for joining another episode of Head in the Cloud, Heart in the Community. Stay tuned, as next month we will be releasing episode 6. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. And the hearts. Hey. Rawr. Rawr.
Wait, where's Thready? Here we go.
That's perfect.
All right.
Are we good on?
We should not forget. In the end, we have to get with Rob. We have to get the heart.
Like we get the.
I think
All right.